Hi, friends. Hi. This is. I'm scheduling the other half of What If Not Female Naruto or Naruto Fixes Konoha for next week. So don't worry, that's still coming out. I'm recording it later today. Today is Friday. My internet was like, screw you, you can't record, you can't upload it yesterday. So it came out this morning from my time frame. Came out this morning. This is coming out tonight. Or not tonight, tomorrow night. And if you guys are watching this right when it comes out, say happy birthday to Laz on Discord. I'll send a link to the Discord server in the description. It's her birthday on the 8th of April. For me, at least. It's the 8th of April. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoy this, but let's get into it. So, quirk, anime protagonist. You'll understand it later. So we go to the first day of UA. And Aizawa is doing the quirk apprehension test, or quirk or understanding test, whatever you want to call it. And goes, the only person who's not allowed to work in this test is her. And yes, Laz is going to be in here in the place of Izuku or Izumi. So Izuku has nothing to do with this story. He points at her, and she looks at him and goes, just because I can beat All Might's ass without using my quirk does not mean I can't join in on the fun. And everybody just stares at her and goes, what? She goes, what? It's fun. I love fighting. Honestly, there's not very many people who can give me a good fight, but I love fighting. Ain't that right, Cheshire? And starts petting the cat that's currently on her shoulder. Yeah. She calls it Cheshire, but it has a different name when it's in battle mode. Yes, it has a battle mode. That's currently its cute, fluffy mode that nobody thinks can rip someone to shreds, but it's very dangerous. Aizawa goes, exactly my point. Now everybody else does it. So she stands on the side and walks over to the side of a building and goes, hey, All Might. How's your day so far? And he starts shaking in fear, being like, good. I'm not in any kind of mood to fight anytime soon, so I'm just gonna leave. Just damn. So he jumps away. Yes, it's gonna be that kind of story. So he jumps away, and later on that day, Aizawa walks into his home and sees Laz, yes, Laz, on his couch. And he goes, you know, you have your own room here, right? She goes, yeah, but I like sunbathing. You put up blackout curtains and you freaking nailed them down, which I don't know why you did, because why would you nail them down? He goes, that's the only time you go to freaking sleep. She goes, no. Remember, I'm part cat. When it's dark, I go super hyper. And he goes, yeah, true. That's why we have a fluorescent light that turns on at night. She goes, fair. But, Miss Joke told me a joke today. And he goes, oh, God. She goes, oh, don't worry, I'm not going to tell it to you. But it was stupid. It was stupid funny, not actually funny. But it was a good joke. Huh, that light's off. In real world, I just found a light that's burnt out. Anyway, back to the story. Yes, I have OCD right now. Not OCD. ADHD. On hyper. Hyper ADHD right now. Yeah. So, we go a few weeks later. It's the USJ. And everybody is like, we can't wait to see her hero costume, because she's not allowed to do any of the foundation hero studies, because she's basically can destroy a city with just one punch. And everybody's like, what? Why can't you do this? What was your workout routine to make you as strong as All Might? She goes 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and a 10K run every day since I would turn, I think, 4, maybe 4.5. Yeah. She's stronger than Saitama. And they're like, what? Wait, what? She goes, yeah. But my favorite way to fight is with my weapons. It's so much fun. And they're like, okay, we're just gonna go this way. And she goes, don't worry, I won't fight any of you. You're too weak for me to fight. So, they're at the USJ. And she's finally allowed to join. Well, join is more everybody else, but she's allowed to join in the supervision of everything. If someone gets hurt, she can run them to Recovery Girl. Kind of join. So, the villains start attacking. And she's currently asleep on the bus outside. Aizawa sees the villains attacking. He's like, crap. He pulls out a bag. And 13 goes, are you seriously going to open that? Because once you open that, we have to run. He goes, it's the only way to get everybody out safe and sound. She goes, but we're not going to have a USJ after. He goes, I know. He opens the bag. And he wraps up the front of it. And he looks at Bakugo and goes, give me one of the shells. Bakugo tosses him one of the empty grenade shells. He pulls out all the guts on the inside and puts in the bag and chucks it. And one of the villains comments, they wouldn't throw an actual grenade at us. Pulls up his gun and shoots it. The insides go everywhere. The bag full of crap goes everywhere. And one of the villains like, the crap, there's dust in it, and uses his wind quirk to scatter it. And all the students are like, what was that? And Aizawa turns to them and says, catnip, run! Yes. Someone wakes up at the smell of it, and her eyes dilate. Like, massively dilate. And she bolts out the freaking bus. There's now a hole in the side of that bus. A hole in the side of the USJ. And she just sees villains and she goes, playtime! And out of freaking nowhere, this comes out. A sword, a black sword that has a blue sheen to it. And she grabs it really tightly. And it starts glowing blue, like white hot blue. And she goes, it's gonna get fun. So she starts cutting him down. And since her quirk is called anime protagonist, it gives everybody else the durability of anime antagonists. So, normal anime protagonists can take a punch, usually. Antagonists normally can also take a punch. And when they get cut by a sword in a lethal way, it just makes a slight cut on their front, but they feel all the pain if it went right through them. So, she cuts through people like it's freaking butter. And all of them just get a slight cut on their front. Blood starts gushing out of it at first and then seals itself up. And they feel the pain as if she cut right through them. Yes, it is freaking overpowered and freaking hilarious at the same time. So she starts punching them, cutting them, and finally, after a while, she tries to cut the Nomu. The Nomu withstands it. So she drops the sword and pulls the two guns out and says, I originally made these as bows, but I couldn't one-hand two bows. So I changed them. Made Apollo and Artemis, the twin gods of the hunt. No, actually one's of the hunt, the other one is of archery, and I don't give a crap. The twin gods of the hunt. And she just starts unloading them in the Nomu's head. Just completely killing it. And she goes, shock absorption does not affect bullets, apparently. Oh well. And she looks at Kurogiri and Shigaraki, who finally catch up to what has been going on. They see basically a lake of blood in front of them. And they're like, are you really a hero? She goes, yeah. They're all going to survive, sadly. But meh. Kurogiri opens a portal and she appears behind it with... what the heck? Yeah. With this. I thought it was going to be something else. Sorry. With this. And she starts swinging it at such a high speed, it makes a vortex of wind. And that kicks up the catnip again. So it speeds up because she's starting to get high off of it again. And this vortex sucks up the portal and Shigaraki at the same time. So Shigaraki slams his head again, and it's the pole and gets launched over to, or it's the stairs. And Kurogiri is constantly getting sucked into the vortex because he's basically missed and so on. Now, here's the fun bit. She's like this for a good 10-20 minutes. And then the catnip works through her system because all of it's been used up because of the vortex. All of it got kicked up and sucked towards her. And she basically was snorting it while she was fighting. So all the catnip is basically gone. It's run through her system really quickly because she's hyper and everything's running really fast. So she crashes. She stops swinging the scythe. Shigaraki's put in cuffs already. Kurogiri is basically knocked out. And she crashes hard. She immediately just passes out and curls up in a ball. And this comes out of nowhere, scaring the crap out of the police officers who hasn't seen it before, walks right up to her, and then transforms into this. Yeah. And crawls into her lap and snuggles up with her. So we go 24 hours after. Aizawa has a new bag of catnip hidden in his uniform. Yeah. That's her summoning signal. A bag of catnip. So she's currently in Recovery Girl's room, passed out on a bed in the sun, just completely stretched out. Cheshire's on her chest, sleep in there, you're staying warm. Aizawa walks in, sees this and goes, she is so troublesome. But she is a good panic button. And immediately Recovery Girl walks up behind her and smacks him in the knees with her cane, being like, you know what that does to her body, right? He goes, yeah. That's why I only use it for emergencies. She goes, you know she's going to be out for a good week or two, right? He goes, yeah. that was a lot of freaking catnip. I shrunk the dose. She goes, no, don't shrink the dose, double the dose. And he goes, why? And she goes, as long as her body is taking in catnip, it increases the adrenaline, which keeps her awake longer, but it will have a bigger negative side effect later on, which is currently happening right now. I have flushed her system of all catnip and everything that has been put in her body of the last week, and slowly increasing the amount of nutrition through the IV I set up for her. But there's one downside. He goes, huh? She goes, I can only shrink the amount of time that she's out by a day. And he goes, that's not that bad. So the next day, everybody's still going to school because the situation was taken care of. Nobody got injured besides the villains and so on. And he walks right up in front of the class and goes, now that you've seen her at basically 50% power, and everybody just looks at him like he's stupid shit. They go, 50% power? And he goes, yeah. Now that you've seen that, what do you think about your classmate? And they all go, you're shitting me right now, right? You're shitting me right now, right? And Aizawa snaps his head towards the person who said that and goes, no cat jokes. They go, okay, no cat jokes. Then a little, what looks like a tabby, but it has neon colors on it. It walks into the room, jumps onto Aizawa's shoulder, and starts talking to him, freaking everybody else out. And he goes, okay, understandable. Go back to her. Keep an eye on her. And everybody's like, what is that? And he goes, that is the second quirked animal that we've ever found. First one was Nezu. That's the second one. And they go, what do you mean quirked animal? And he goes, well, we found this thing. And he pulls out a picture on his phone of this. We found this in the woods. And it was injured. And we saw that there's been somebody coming around every once in a while and basically bandaging up the injury. And it looked like a sword wound, like a really, really big sword wound. And maybe 10, 20 minutes later, we saw this white blur appear. And then we saw her just appear out of this blur, helping to rewrap the injury because the injury has been bleeding. And one of our veterinarians from the Wild Wild Pussycats, Tiger, yes, I'm making him a veterinarian, certified veterinarian, walks up being like, I think there's something in that wound to keep it from healing. And the Toby, yes, Toby, a good boy. The Toby Kadachi, I think it's Toby Kadachi, he freaks out and starts hissing at Tiger. Or she stands up and tenses all of her muscles like a cat who's freaked out. And Aizawa walks up and like, whoa. Calm down. We're not here to hurt anybody. We had reports of a monster living in this forest, so we wanted to see what was going on. Hopefully take it into protective custody, preferably before anybody else finds it. But apparently you found it, and we don't know what's going on, so what's happening? Laz introduces herself. Laz, no last name, orphan, parents didn't care about her, kind of orphan. So she goes on to say the Toby is her best friend and can speak. That's where the quirk comes in. We go 20 years back into the Monster Hunter world. There's this monster that's been said to speak. Nobody knows where it is. Nobody knows who it is, what kind of monster it is, but it hides in the shadows, trying to speak with hunters, trying to learn. And a researcher made the bad mistake of telling it about hunters and so on. So I got really territorial and started fighting back. 17 years into the future, Toby, which can speak to people, is in this area, and this elder comes by and does something. And this blue pond appears. Toby sees the blue pond and walks over to it. The elder's just watching this Toby walk over. And the elder looks down at it and pushes it into the pond and then covers up the pond and walks away. So the Toby finds itself in a completely different world, and this girl appears in front of him, who currently has a wound from the elder accidentally cutting it, and is trying to heal it. 3 years later, it's healed halfway. So Tiger takes a look at it and says, "I've never seen a creature like you before, but let me help." Puts disinfectant in it, bandages it up properly, and says, "Give it a week or two, and I'll come back to see if I can bandage it better and keep an eye on it." A week or two later, Aizawa and Tiger come back, but this time with Nezu. Yes, Nezu. They get to talking. Aizawa's like, "Okay, I'm gonna partially adopt you. You're gonna come live at my house. We're gonna keep an eye on you." Tiger is gonna come by every 2 weeks, maybe 3, to check on him, and she immediately says, "His name's Toby. Toby's a good boy." If anybody knows that reference, please leave it in the comment below. And remember, wish Laz a happy birthday on the Discord, which I'll be putting in the description. This isn't going to be a very long one compared to my other stories. So I'm about to wrap it up with one big final fight. So we go to, oh God, present day, maybe a month later. That's why she knows where Aizawa lives, and that's how she's going to learn who the Wild Pussycats are. Nezu says sports festival, she can't participate because she's too overpowered. Final internships. Stained in attack Ingenium, so there's no issue there. What else? Oh yeah. It's now the what was it? Summer break after the thing. Instead of them being recruited, they were forced to by All For One. And All For One joined them on this fight. Spinner was forced to attack the Wild Pussycats, even though he knows most of them are true heroes, except for Pixie Bob. Pixie Bob has had a history with crime, but fixed herself. So Spinner is watching to make sure that Pixie Bob is staying true. So he's kind of pulling a stain, being like, you're changing, but you're slowly changing. Let's see how it goes. And Spinner says, I'm sorry, but the only person I'll fight is Pixie Bob. And he says why. Pixie Bob cries, being like, yeah, I did those things. I regret doing those things. I've been trying to fix that. And he goes, I know, but I'm forced to fight today. I don't want to fight today. So they fight. The forest is being burnt down. And Aizawa sees that she's not outside. She's currently in the building taking a nap in the hot springs. Not actually in the water, but around it because it's warm. Aizawa pulls out a baggie. Kurogiri is in custody, so yeah. He pulls out a baggie. And it's inside the grenade. And this time it has nitroglycerin in it. Because it needs to be explosive. He pulls the pin, and he looks at All for One and goes, this is going to kill you. And he goes, just a grenade? What can that do? He goes, a lot more than you think. Tosses the grenade as hard as possible. All for One catches the grenade and goes, huh, and drops it. While it's in midair, mind you, it explodes, sending a dust cloud everywhere. But some of the dust gets pushed around with the shockwave, and it covers the entirety of the forest. Guess where the Wild Wild Pussycats are based in? Their base is in the middle of the forest. So guess who's awake? Laz. Laz wakes up and immediately stands up. And she goes, and pulls out this to start with. She pulls that out to start with. And she starts going around knocking people out with the pain part of her basically quirk. And she gets to All for One. And he is absolutely covered in catnip because of the explosion. He didn't think it was necessary to keep himself clean because what is anybody else going to do? They're just going to scuff his friggin' $1 million tuxedo. Like, what else are people going to do? And she has her eyes dilate again. So she just starts beating his ass. Every time she hits him, a cloud of catnip comes off of him. Because that grenade was loaded with 4 times the recommended dose from Recovery Girl and aimed up. Yes, it was aimed up. Because Aizawa knew he was going to catch it and drop it. So it was aimed up. It covered him catnip. And All for One is like, what the hell is going on? Her punches hurt. His bones crack, they break, but they don't move out of position because of the antagonist body that he has gained from being near her. They don't move out of position. But they still hurt. Like really, really hurt. Have you ever stubbed your toe on something? Think of that. Times 1,000,000. It hurts. So, she beats him up. He's now in Tartarus. All Might walks up to her and goes, thank you for doing something that I haven't been able to do. And she goes, meh. And goes back to sleep. So she becomes a hero. She's known as the hidden number 1. And we go to a few generations down. She's still alive, by the way. It's been like 200 years. She's still alive. Hide it somewhere. And people like, what's this hidden number one story? Isn't that just a myth? Friggin' Nezu's still alive too. And Toby, being a good boy, is still alive too. And Nezu looks at the student being like, we have a new teacher now. It's 1A's homeroom teacher. She looks young. Don't worry. She's a pro hero. And her pro hero name is Lazarus. She walks out into stage, immediately walks under a chair, and curls up in a ball. And all of a sudden they just see basically a snot bubble kind of thing happening because she immediately fell asleep. And Nezu's like, that's basically what I'm paying her to do, is to protect you and fall asleep. So don't worry. She's strong. First day of school, she walks in and goes, I am Laz Aizawa, also known as Pro Hero Lazarus, one of the oldest living pro heroes besides Nezu. Now, I got 3 things to tell you. 1, don't wake me up when I'm asleep. 2, she hits a button, a little grenade pops up and says, if you're ever in trouble, like serious, you're gonna die soon trouble, pull the pin and let it go off. And 3, get the hell out to the PE field because we're doing a quirk apprehension test. And the cycle continues. And if you guys enjoy this little birthday thing, I didn't put very much effort into it. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to make an entire series dedicated to Laz because of one little thing. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, consider hitting that like button. Go down to the description because I'm going to be putting a link to the comments, because I'm going to be putting a link in there for Discord. Hopefully you enjoyed this birthday one shot. Yeah, it's a birthday one shot. I'm going to be rebooting a few series that I enjoyed doing but didn't finish, kind of. But I'm changing certain things. So I'm going to see about that. Hopefully you guys enjoy those. I'm going to be finishing one of the stories today and posting it next week. This is going to be posted the following day. So if you guys do enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe. I do like subscribers. You guys are my thugs. I'm the king of this empire. I'm not an emperor. No. I'm the king of this empire of unsmooth criminals. I'm the most unsmooth of criminals. Don't worry. You're all thugs. But if you guys do enjoy, like I've said before, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the link in the the comments. I'll have it pinned at the top for the Discord. If you guys do enjoy and want to say happy birthday to Laz, this will be posted, I think, I'll be posting it 12:01 tomorrow morning for my time. So, if you guys do enjoy, like I've said before, I know I'm a broken record at this point, but talk to you guys later. Bye!